Circuit.com and the director of the Oregon Short Film Festival. We've got an event coming up in October, and it will be Oregon Short Film Festival Fall 2022 at the Clinton Street Theater. And one of the films that we're going to be screening is The Inoperative, Deadly Delivery by Matthew Knight and Edward DePew. How you guys doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm awesome, man. Did I pronounce that okay? DePew?
Yeah, you did it. Most people say
Cool.
Dupree for some reason, and I don't really understand it. Or DuPont, I've gotten that end up turning into a nickname in high school. Again, I don't really understand because there's no T, there's no R. Like, yeah, you did good.
It's Twitter has ruined us all. I think that just abbreviations and stuff. And my name is just regular Michael. Weird spelling, but it's just regular Michael. This is how you say it. Well, guys, I'm glad you're here. Judges are cracking up watching this movie. We can't wait to screen it. And congrats on your award nomination for Best Comedy Microfilm. Good job.
Much appreciated. Yeah.
All right, one of you guys, give us a synopsis. What if people walk into that theater? What is it they're going to see?
Sure. So, with the Inoperative Deadly Delivery, it is about a spy who is trying to get his target, and he is just the worst person at his job. When we when we came into this, we're like, what would Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner be like if they were live action? And that's pretty much what the Inoperative is. That's the surface synopsis. Underneath it, though, it's actually there's a really fun secretive storyline for fans of our YouTube channel that have been watching for the last decade or so, and it's actually a continuation / soft reboot of our very first video together. And I think that eagle-eyed watchers I think will get a lot of fun Easter eggs into the deeper story that's there.
You guys are like in Avengers territory, dropping Easter eggs years in advance. I appreciate it. Well, tell me Edward, what motivated you, the two of you, to just why this? Why create this?
Well, I mean, I definitely like to think that we're more of like the comedy realm people. I mean, we've joked. I mean, for a long time, and kind of what we were talking about before. Like our relationship dates back like almost 20 years. Crazy enough at this point. But like we've always been just kind of like this real tight knit duo coming up with crazy ideas and things like that. And when it comes to like this idea, I remember we were actually in high school, like he was talking about. We have a first episode of this that predates this film that we submitted. I think it was just like, let's film something, you and me, that somewhat like represents our relationship. We are somewhat competing with each other, but neither one of us is better than the other. Like we'll never overcome the other person. And I think it's just like it's really putting definitely myself, like who I am out there on the camera. And I think it's just kind of it's just fun, like it was really motivated to just kind of show the relationship between us, as well as just, I mean, entertain anybody that watches it and put some real clever humor out there, not just straight in your face, slapstick stuff.
All right, and Matthew, did you learn anything on this shoot? Like, I feel like every little shoot is like a piece of film school. It teaches you something.
Oh yeah, we're always learning stuff. I tell my students all the time that the minute you don't think you need to learn anything else is the minute you're out of the game. And this particular short film is actually the culmination of 10 years worth of learning. Like Ed was saying, it's a continuation of our very first video. And if you look at the first one, which is the same subject material as this one, you can see just how much, we've learned over the past decade. And we really put that into all of this one. And we're still learning new things on, splicing clips together, doing, hidden cuts, things like that, working with slow motion this time and trying to get background things to work the way we wanted to, making sure lighting is good. Working with natural lighting is always tough when you don't have studio lights to simulate it. So we were always, learning new things on set.
Yeah. And to tack onto that, when he said like the splicing cuts, and there was a different word that he said, but actually like in the middle of the film, there's a pan cut from left to right that includes both of us. That's actually 2 separate takes. And we had to cut in the middle of it and merge them together to make it look like it's one cut, because it's literally just him and I filming together. So when you get that, if anything, I've learned like we need a third guy because doing stuff like that, like just having two people, like that was way harder than it needed to be just to have a simple pan from left to right, and it's, yeah,
Wow.
grow.
Well, typically I ask people, how do you do casting? Like, do you just call people in your phone, or do but in the case of you guys, you're obviously wearing a lot of hats, but how does that all break down between the two of you? Which hats are you wearing?
I mean, it's I'm a real visual guy, and I like to think that I'm funny. I was most wittiest twice through school, so I mean, other people I guess think I'm funny. I don't know, but I mean, typically he's the writer, and I'll most often say he's the director, but we kind of coexist in that space. A lot of the times, like, I know how I want it to look, so that will somewhat direct the way the story and the way we shoot, just because there's only two of us. And then he knows kind of the story that we want to drive, and then I'll punch in like some comedic elements and things and make sure we kind of line it up in that sense. So I mean, as far as like casting or finding, I was like, we're shooting something that, I mean, we're reviving something that's almost 10 years old. I'll just reprise my role, you reprise your role. How's that sound? And yeah, I mean, that's
Cool.
how we ended up here.
Matthew, the future. What's going on with you guys? What's the next?
Well, like we were talking about before we went live, I'm currently wrapping up my first screenplay, looking to submit that either tail end of this season or beginning of the next season of film festivals. Ed, you're working on VFX stuff right now, yeah?
Yeah, I am gung ho into VFX. It is slowed a little bit. We did just welcome my first son, so we are dealing. I say dealing. I mean, we're learning with that, and I mean, we're growing with that. But yeah, I spent this past year just kind of building up my computer and just beefing it up, and now I love visual effects. Like I said, I love visuals, and we're delving into that. But we're also planning some future shoots. Like you said, I mean, he's got his screenplay going, but we're constantly just throwing back and forth different ideas. We have at least 2 or 3 episodes. I mean, we have a whole timeline of the Inoperative written out pretty much in our heads. We just got to put it to paper.
As soon as I come back to Mississippi, that's next on the list. Currently saving up for a house, almost there. Got about 9 months left in Houston, and then the gang's getting back together.
All right. Well, exciting times ahead. You're making us look good at the theater coming up next Sunday, and really funny stuff. All the judges really enjoyed your work, and it's always good. With the Oregon Short Film Festival, and like some of our comedy festivals, it's a full mix of films, everything from fantasy to science fiction to documentaries to drama, and it's good to get these great fun moments in between. And so I really appreciate you sending this film to us, and best of luck to you guys. Really, really good stuff. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go?
Absolutely. First, love to thank the judges for accepting this into all the festivals. We can't begin to describe how amazing it is to just have something that we've made get seen by people, and know that judges and people like that feel that it is worthy to be shown, that it's actually funny. That's it's a vindication of skill.
You submit it with like the expectations, or at least the hope of it being accepted, and then when it actually does, it just like kind of bewilders you. You're just like, wait a minute, like like I know I submitted and I know I wanted to get picked, but like you actually picked me, like wow, like like I'm very thankful for sure. And some of the like the responses and the comments that we've received on it, it's just like that's awesome. It makes me feel really good and very validated in what we made. That we made something that makes people laugh. Because that's always your concern, is like, is it going to land? And
especially silent comedy too, because
we didn't say a word. Like, it's like, let's make people laugh without saying anything, and like that's the charm. So
no, it's really good. It's really
super
good.
Super thankful for that. Definitely makes us want to keep doing it and be bigger and better every subsequent film that we do. Would love to people check out our Prolium Pictures YouTube page if they want to see more stuff like that in upcoming projects.
Cool. All right, my friend. Well, we'll definitely link that in the description. So I appreciate your time today, and I'll see you guys on the road somewhere, hopefully on the film festival circuit.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes.